The tremor lasted 0.03 seconds. No human felt it. No city shook. No tsunami formed. But deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, below tectonic plates and magma currents, something shifted. Not geological. Not natural. Intentional. At first, it appeared as noise inside a deep Earth neutrino scanner in Chile. Then it appeared again, this time in a Japanese mantle density array. Then in 3 separate classified military monitoring systems. Depth, 643 kilometers below Earth's crust. Source, non-seismic. Energy pattern, artificial. The signal pulsed once. Then stopped. Across the Sol system, human long-range listening arrays recalibrated automatically. They had been programmed to watch for external threats. They had not been programmed to look inward. And yet, every defense satellite pivoted toward Earth itself. At the same time, far beyond Pluto's orbit, hyperspace ruptured. The Zaureth Armada arrived. 70,000 warships spilled into real space in perfect formation. Siege platforms the size of moons unfolded around their perimeter. Starbreaker-class flagships stabilized gravitational anchors. They did not hide their presence. They wanted the galaxy to watch. And it did. The Galactic Council chamber filled with observers as live feeds from Sol streamed across holographic displays. The Zaureth Supreme Commander transmitted immediately. Sovereign species of Sol 3. You are classified as strategically unstable. Submit to preservation oversight or face erasure. Humanity did not answer. Not because it could not. Because something else demanded attention. Back beneath the Pacific, the signal pulsed again. Stronger. Across Earth, power grids flickered, not from overload, but from synchronization. Ancient code awakened inside systems no modern engineer had ever written. Deep ocean pressure sensors went dark. Submarine drones lost contact. An exclusion radius formed without command authorization. In Washington, Beijing, Geneva, and New Delhi, emergency defense councils convened simultaneously. None of them had access to the oldest files. Those were sealed centuries ago under planetary continuity doctrine. But the seals were breaking. Automated authentication chains activated. Genetic confirmations triggered. A single classified archive unlocked globally. Designation: Sol Protector Protocol. Most world leaders stared at the file in disbelief. Authorization origin, unknown. Installation date, predates modern civilization. Purpose, planetary existential safeguard. No one remembered building it. No one remembered agreeing to it. Above Earth, the Zaureth Armada began planetary targeting calibration. Orbital strike grids aligned with terrifying precision. The Galactic Council murmured among themselves. Human fleets are mobilizing. Insufficient. Too fragmented. They cannot survive first-wave saturation. The Zaureth commander issued a final countdown. 3 planetary rotations to comply. Earth remained silent. Then the ocean floor split. Not violently. Not explosively. Just opened. Satellite imagery captured something impossible. The Mariana Trench widened as if gravity itself stepped aside. A shadow rose from below. Not a ship. Not a structure. Something too vast to classify. Black alloy surface reflecting no light. Etched with patterns that resembled star maps older than recorded galactic history. It breached the surface without a splash. Water displaced gently around it, as if unwilling to resist. Across the Galactic Council chamber, several elder species stood abruptly. Ancient memories stirred. Forgotten wars. Lost alliances. An artifact from the oldest archives surfaced in the mind of a the Wren archivist. He whispered a word that had not been spoken in 8,000 years. Protector. Above Earth, the Zaureth targeting grid flickered. Their sensors struggled to define mass. To measure energy output. To determine scale. It was larger than their largest flagship. And still rising. Humanity had not launched a counterattack. It had not deployed superweapons. It had simply awakened something. The Zaureth commander hesitated for the first time. "What is that object?" he demanded. No one could answer. The structure stabilized in orbit. Silent. Watching. And somewhere deep inside it, something began to open. The structure did not emit power. It did not radiate heat. It did not distort gravity in measurable ways. And that terrified the Zalreth more than any weapon signature could have. It hung in orbit above Earth like a continent carved from night itself. Matte black alloy. No seams. No engines. No visible armament. Just surface etchings, vast geometric patterns that pulsed faintly as if mapping something far beyond Sol. Zalreth Tactical AIS ran classification algorithms. Result: unknown construct. Threat index: undefined. Engagement probability: high. The Supreme Commander did not hesitate long. Target the anomaly. Saturation bombardment. 70,000 warships pivoted in perfect unison. Energy lances charged. Gravitic penetrators aligned. Siege cannons reached critical output. Across the Galactic Council chamber, delegates leaned forward. Some whispered that humanity had uncovered ancient technology. Others insisted it was a bluff. The first volley fired. Thousands of converging beams struck the structure simultaneously. The result? Nothing. No impact flare. No shield bloom. No kinetic shockwave. The beams vanished upon contact. Not deflected. Not absorbed. Not dissipated. They simply ceased to exist. The Zalreth targeting grid glitched violently. Projectile telemetry returned null. Energy readouts returned zero. As if the weapons had never been fired. Then, at the center of the structure, a seam appeared. A perfect circle. It did not open like machinery. It unfolded like perception. And within it, an eye formed. Not biological. Not mechanical. A sphere of shifting spatial distortion, layered with impossible geometry. It did not glow. It focused. The entire Zalreth Armada registered a synchronized microlag in system processing. 0.2 seconds. Across the galaxy, hyperspace lanes flickered. Military data networks experienced latency spikes. Ancient archival vaults from elder civilizations unlocked automatically. Threat designation returned across multiple forgotten databases. Sol Protector entity, active. In the council chamber, an elder the Ren archivist went pale. It's real. Back in Sol. The eye rotated. Not toward Earth. Toward the Zalreth fleet. For the first time in recorded history, the Zalreth commander felt something unfamiliar. Vulnerability. He issued a second command. Full spectrum fire. All batteries. The second barrage launched. It never reached the target. Mid-flight, every projectile vanished at once. Simultaneously, 12 Zalreth destroyers blinked out of existence. No explosion. No debris. No radiation spike. Just absence. Fleet tracking grids showed empty coordinates where ships had been. Life sign telemetry severed. No escape pods. No wreckage. Gone. Panic rippled through the Armada. Are they destroyed? Scan subspace. Scan hyperspace. Scan alternate dimensional bands. Nothing. Then emergency signals erupted across fleet command channels. FTL matrices destabilizing. Reactor harmonics desynchronizing. Weapon safeties permanently engaged. Command AIS failing authorization hierarchy. The Protector had not fired. It had not moved. It had simply observed. The eye blinked. And 20 more ships vanished. This time not from the front line. From deep within the formation. Precision removal. The Zalreth commander's voice trembled slightly. What weapon is this? The answer came not from Earth, but from the Galactic Council. The Ren archivist accessed a sealed archive requiring 13 biometric confirmations. A hologram filled the chamber. Ancient text. Older than most civilizations present. During the Extinction War, the archivist whispered, a guardian intervened. The projection displayed fragmented images of long-dead armadas disappearing from battlefields. The Sol Protector does not destroy, he continued. It removes. Back above Earth. The eye rotated again. The Zalreth fleet attempted retreat. FTL drives failed to engage. Spatial corridors folded into impossible geometry. The Armada was no longer attacking. It was contained. And the galaxy realized something chilling. The sleeping protector had not awakened to fight. It had awakened to correct. The Zalreth Armada was no longer in formation. It was frozen in fear. Ships held position without command. Weapons remained powered but would not fire. FTL drives returned the same cold response. Route unavailable. Above Earth, the protector did not advance. It did not posture. It did not threaten. It simply watched. And in the Galactic Council chamber, the oldest archive in existence opened. The Tharen archivist's hands trembled as he completed the final genetic confirmation. The chamber darkened. A projection filled the center space. Title: Extinction War, Sol Intervention Record. Gasps spread among the delegates. The Extinction War was myth to most modern species, an ancient, galaxy-wide conflict said to have ended mysteriously 8,000 years ago. Records were fragmented. Entire fleets lost without explanation. Hyperlanes collapsing. Weapon networks failing. No victor recorded. Just silence. The archive began playback. Ancient battle footage flickered into existence. Coalition fleets, thousands of ships from dozens of species, firing upon a small yellow star system. Sol. The projection showed a massive construct rising from Earth's orbit. Identical to the one now present. Black alloy. Impossible geometry. And at its center, the eye. The footage skipped forward. Coalition armadas vanished mid-engagement. Entire siege formations removed in seconds. No debris. No planetary devastation. Just absence. Then a final entry. Protector entity engaged full-spectrum correction. Hostile war capacity eliminated. Civilian biospheres preserved. The archivist swallowed. It ended the war, he whispered. Not by conquering. By disabling every faction capable of continuing it. The chamber fell silent. Back in Sol, the Zalreth Supreme Commander was breathing heavily. Half his armada was gone. Not destroyed. Not damaged. Removed. Long-range scans began detecting something impossible. Ships previously vanished were reappearing. Light years away. Deep space coordinates far beyond known trade routes. Power levels minimal. Weapons offline. Alive. But irrelevant. The Protector was not killing them. It was relocating them beyond strategic influence. The eye rotated again. 3 more carrier groups blinked out. Zalreth fleet cohesion collapsed into chaos. This is impossible, the commander whispered. But the Protector had not moved. It did not chase. It did not fire beams. It did not emit energy spikes. It simply decided. And reality complied. In the council chamber, a younger delegate asked the question no one wanted to voice. Why would such a construct protect humanity? The archivist answered quietly. Because it was built for them. Another file unlocked automatically. Sol Containment Accord, signed by 11 elder civilizations. Terms. Humanity classified as high adaptive emerging species. Protector installed as failsafe against extermination-level threats. Entity dormant unless extinction criteria met. One delegate stood abruptly. You mean we agreed to this? Yes, the archivist replied. We feared what humanity might become if they were wiped out too soon. The chamber grew colder. Back above Earth. The Protector's eye dimmed slightly. Not from weakness. From assessment. The Zalreth Armada attempted one final action. Manual firing override. Independent reactor ignition. The command did not complete. Every remaining warship's weapons went permanently dark. FTL cores locked beyond repair. Reactor outputs dropped to non-combat levels. No explosion. No casualties. Just removal of threat. The Supreme Commander stared at his tactical grid. 70,000 warships reduced to drifting metal husks. Not destroyed. Corrected. Above them, the eye focused once more. And the galaxy understood something far worse than annihilation. The sleeping Protector had not awakened in anger. It had awakened in certainty. And it would not return to sleep until the lesson was complete. Silence spread across the Sol system. Not the silence of destruction. The silence of inevitability. 70,000 Zalreth warships had entered Sol as conquerors. Now they drifted as witnesses. Weapons dark. FTL drives permanently inert. Reactor cores throttled to survival output. Life support stable. Medical systems active. The Protector had taken everything necessary for war. And left everything necessary for survival. Above them, the continent-sized construct remained motionless. The eye did not glow. It did not pulse. It simply regarded. Across the galaxy, military simulations ran at emergency priority. If the Protector escalated to full-spectrum engagement. Projected outcome probability. Absolute. No fleet in existence could resist it. Not combined. Not coordinated. Not prepared. In the Galactic Council chamber, panic began to ripple. If it turns outward? If it decides we are all threats? Can it be stopped? The Tharen archivist answered without looking up from the ancient files. It has never attacked a non-aggressor. Back in Sol, the Zalreth Supreme Commander activated Diplomatic Emergency Protocol. Every remaining communication channel opened at once. This is Supreme Commander Veros of the Zalreth Armada, he transmitted, voice strained but steady. We withdraw all eradication claims. We rescind invasion status. We request terms. For the first time, the Protector responded. Not with sound. Not with signal. With translation. Human satellites flickered, then synchronized. A concept flowed into every open channel. It was not a language. It was meaning. Human systems rendered it into words. Extinction threshold detected. A pause. Correction complete. The eye rotated slightly. Not toward the fleet. Toward Earth. As if confirming safety. Then toward the stars beyond Sol. As if assessing the galaxy itself. Every species watching felt it. Measured. Weighed. Judged. The Zalreth commander swallowed. We will depart peacefully. FTL drives did not respond. The Protector had not yet permitted it. Another transmission translated through human networks. Hostile capacity removed. Non-hostile existence permitted. Across the fleet, small pulses of light flickered. Emergency jump coordinates uploaded directly into disabled navigation systems. Deep space relocation vectors. Far from Sol. Far from major hyperspace corridors. Alive. But strategically irrelevant. One by one, Zalreth warships vanished. Not destroyed. Repositioned. Disarmed. Removed from influence. Within minutes, Sol was clear. Only drifting debris from failed weapons remained. The Protector did not pursue. It did not issue threats. It did not demand tribute. It had drawn a line. And enforced it. Across the Galactic Council chamber, expansionist powers quietly began recalling fleets positioned near human borders. No vote was required. No treaty drafted. No warning issued. The message had been clear. Earth was not defenseless. It had never been. Above Earth, the Protector remained in orbit for exactly one planetary rotation. Watching. Ensuring no secondary aggression emerged. Human governments did not attempt to command it. Did not attempt to communicate further. They simply waited. Because deep down, they understood something fundamental. The Protector was not humanity's weapon. It was humanity's safeguard. And it would decide when to act. Not them. As the first sunrise crossed Earth's oceans, the eye began to dim. The vast construct slowly reoriented toward the Pacific below. Tectonic plates trembled once more. The ocean parted. And the sleeping Protector began its descent. But before it vanished beneath the surface, it paused. And for a fraction of a second, the eye looked outward. Toward the galaxy. Not threatening. Not angry. Just aware. Then it closed. And the waters sealed above it. The galaxy exhaled. But no one forgot what they had just witnessed. Because now they knew. Earth did not need to threaten anyone. Something older than their civilizations was already watching. And it had made its choice. The Sol system returned to normal. Trade lanes reopened. Civilian transports resumed standard routes. Human defense fleets returned to routine patrol patterns. If someone arrived late, they might never guess that 70,000 warships had once filled the outer system. There were no wreck fields. No drifting hull fragments. No graves. Only silence. The Zaureth Armada reappeared weeks later, scattered across deep space sectors far from strategic corridors. Alive. Disarmed. Reactor cores locked to non-combat thresholds. Weapons fused at the molecular level. FTL matrices permanently rewritten. Their engineers called it impossible. Their scientists called it divine intervention. Their commanders called it survival. They did not attempt to rebuild an invasion fleet. Across the Galactic Council, emergency doctrines were rewritten. Expansion through eradication was reclassified as catastrophic risk. Preemptive extinction strategies were archived under prohibited war crimes. A new clause entered galactic law. The Sol system is not to be approached with hostile intent. No one voted against it. In the Ren archives, the ancient file was updated. Protector status, dormant. Extinction threshold, cleared. A young cadet studying the incident years later raised a trembling hand. Instructor, if humanity possesses something like that, why don't they use it to rule us? The old archivist looked at the projection of Earth spinning gently in the void. Clouds drifting. Oceans glimmering. Peaceful. Because it only wakes for extinction, he said quietly. Not ambition. The cadet frowned. But they could dominate the galaxy. Yes, the archivist agreed. They could. He zoomed the projection outward. Countless star systems. Civilizations rising and falling. Trade routes branching like veins. But humanity chose something else. What? Stability. Back on Earth, world leaders never claimed credit. No parades were held. No speeches given about hidden weapons. The truth remained classified at the highest levels. Not because humans feared panic, but because they feared complacency. The Protector was not a shield against consequences. It was a safeguard against annihilation. And it had very strict criteria. Deep beneath the Pacific, below tectonic plates and magma currents, the construct rested once more. Cold. Still. Waiting. Energy levels minimal. Eye closed. But not unaware. Because the final line in the ancient accord still stood. If Earth faces eradication, the Guardian will awaken. Across the galaxy, fleets continued to travel. Wars continued in distant sectors. Ambitions burned bright in young empires. But no strategist ever again marked Sol in red. No armada ever again aligned siege platforms toward Earth. Because every species understood something now. Humanity did not need to threaten the galaxy. It did not need to expand by force. It did not need to conquer. Somewhere beneath their oceans, something older than empires was watching. And if it ever opened its eye again, it would not be to negotiate. It would be to correct. And that was enough.